12 knockouts, 2 submissions, and 3 decisions. Is Jack Della Maddalena any good? By far the most fun addition to the 170-pound division over the last few years has without a doubt been JDM. A satisfying to watch vessel of violence that comes forward with volleys of punches. The way he works the body is beautiful, and it's a criminally underutilized method of attack in MMA. It drains cardio, brings your opponent's hands down, and exposes their chin. His style is nice to watch, but is it championship level? He's been heavily criticized, and rightly so, for a number of blunders on the ground and in transition, but he's clearly improving this area with every training camp and becoming more and more tactical each year. But is he ready for Belal Muhammad, a welterweight who completely dwarfs him in terms of resume and experience? Jack will have a definite advantage in the striking realm in this fight and bring a sizable edge in finishing potential. Both men ride lengthy unbeaten streaks into this bout, so that should be enough to get you intrigued. But this division is a battlefield right now, so let's see if Jack can become a champion and free us all from the cursed Belal era. Jack Della Maddalena, a technical boxer with great killer instinct and slick in the scramble. Strike accuracy, 53%. Strikes landed per minute, 6.7. I love how Jack throws in combination, it's never just one punch from him, it's crowding and trapping his opponent into the cage and unloading. Strikes absorbed per minute, 4.2. A takedown average of 0.2. A submission average of 0.2. Strike defense of 66%. This showcases Jack's effective high guard, shoulder rolling, and boxing shell. A knockdown average of 1.6, and an average fight time of 8 minutes 44 seconds. If you look up Jack on the UFC website to get his stats for yourself, you'll find there's nothing there. Multi-billion-dollar company doing its best. Jack wins by staying completely relaxed and fluid in high-intensity gunfights. He's at home when he's in the pocket, where he can land flurries of well-placed punches to the liver, sternum, chin, and temple. At range, he takes his time and never gasses himself out with his own offense. His strike output is excellent, as he throws in combination. His jab comes quick and sharp, and his chin is always tucked. Although he will get scrappy at times, and that chin will gradually come up. Jack is yet to take an L in the UFC and is riding an absurd amount of momentum right now, but grapplers have poked holes through this guy's style in the past. His career began by being beaten and finished, but he's come a long way since those early days of his pro career. However, once he's taken down, it becomes clear that the majority of his training has taken place on the feet. He hasn't made a blunder so large that it results in a concrete defeat, but Jack has given up control time on bottom and has been able to be manipulated throughout his contests. Now is when we find out if he can stuff the takedowns of elite tier comp, because he will have to answer this question more than once in the welterweight division. Even if he gets past Belal, there's Sean Brady, Shavkat. Best performance, Ramazan Emeev. Jack showcased his ability to escape out of a deep submission here, and I believe it was technically a Darce he was trapped in, then immediately applied his signature forward pressure after he escaped the choke and just ramped up the boxing and broke Ramazan Emeev with bodywork. I believe Jack's real X factor isn't just his boxing, but rather a level of survival ability that amplifies everything he does. Somebody who is hard to hurt or exhaust is a nightmare to deal with in the cage. Jack doesn't give his opponents any breaks, they're forced to deal with his striking pressure the whole fight long, unless of course they finish him. But he never quits. He fights like hell to get off bottom position, or even when caught in subs, and will get straight back to his onslaught of punches and break his opponent down. Most fun, his war against Ange Loosa. Jack's entry into Dana White's Contender Series was such a treat to watch, and his foe Ange Loosa showed real grit and toughness in defeat and made it a real scrap. Jack engaged with educated crowding and won this fight in the pocket, marching down Loosa with heavy volume and broke him mentally. Jack didn't force the finish here either, but just let go with damage for the full 15 minutes and earned his entry into the UFC, not needing a finish victory. Check this one out on the UFC YouTube channel, it will be linked in the description for you. Notable wins and losses, Gilbert Burns. Now, this is a win of Jack's that can be picked apart if you want to be critical. But Burns is a phenomenal litmus test for the welterweight top 10. He's credentialed in grappling and fought the who's who. Jack struggled with the takedowns, but was undeniable in this fight and brutalized Burns. Against Kevin Holland, he managed to get the decision win even at a crazy reach disadvantage. Split decision is crazy, nearly every punch Kevin threw hit the guard. He had to stay back in his shell in this one because Kevin Holland could easily just touch his chin with a right hand from so far away, so Jack had to be extra composed. His volume wasn't really the same, but he did still get off good combinations and eventually got the decision win. Good win. Holland is good. Randy Brown is also good, but in my opinion, quite chinny. I have a breakdown of Rude Boy. Check that out if you haven't yet. But again, Jack is great at dealing with these hellish reach disadvantages and finding his openings. He's too educated of a striker. He took his time getting peppered by Brown on the guard, but cornered him and capitalized. He surprised me when he snatched his first UFC submission. I really thought he would struggle to a decision in this one, if I'm being honest. And I've picked against Jack a lot, but I'm slowly becoming a believer because not only is he fun, that's a big part of it, but because he's active, similar to Joaquin Buckley. Fans respect you when you give them a performance every few months as opposed to once a year or once every 15 months. I'm not trying to wait around a year to see my favorite guys compete, that's all I'll say. JDM is a straightforward but highly educated puncher that finds the finish one way or another in most cases. He's a buzzsaw. He puts other fighters' durability and mental fortitude to the test, as he will walk them down and remain patient while non-stop pelting them with his brick hands in 4-ounce gloves. I adore his shot selection, and I'm excited for every matchup of his that's announced, honestly. How can you not be? He isn't without weakness, obviously. Every fighter is flawed in some way, but it's a weakness that can be worked at. He's pairing up with brilliant names in the grappling world like Craig Jones to make him even slicker on the ground and prepare him for the coming ground threats he's likely to face. Big fan of Jack and what the future holds for this guy and his career, and a lot will be answered in this bout against Bilal Muhammad. And with that said, Jack Della Maddalena gets a solid A from me. Factoring in his entertainment value is gaining him an entire rank here, as I do think his resume is a little subpar, but that could obviously change on Saturday with a win over Bilal, and definitely with a win over Islam Makhachev that he craves. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy this Saturday. Drop your favorite JDM moment down below. MMA makes no fucking sense, but I'm out here trying to put it all together. Until next time.